What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Selena here, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you how to negotiate like a boss and what not to say before you even start the negotiation process. If you want to know, stick around because I'm going to tell you. So you are now at the negotiation process. In my last video, I basically went step by step and letting you know what you should be doing before you buy a car. So now you're at the dealership, you are ready to buy this car that you've seen, that you test drove. If you don't know what video we've been talking about, click above, I'm gonna link it there. Watch that video first, then come back to this one. Now this is the negotiation process. One of the most important processes and one of the most important steps when purchasing a vehicle. This is one thing you should not be saying to a dealer, to a salesperson. I'm going to get to that in a minute because I feel it messed up my process. I could have got my car a lot sooner if I didn't jump the gun and say this to the salesperson. And I felt like that was one of the things that I really messed up on. So I want to let you guys know as well, if you feel like you're not getting the deals you want, depending on if you're going to be paying cash or financing or leasing. This is one step that I feel like I really probably messed up on. So this part, the negotiation part, does not have to be really stressful or dreadful or annoying like what I had to go through. I understand completely that it's something that you are like, oh my goodness, this is a lot of money, I'm stressed. Don't be, because at the end of the day, it's your money. You do what you want to do with it, but don't be upset that you might have to walk out of that dealership not getting what you wanted. One thing to avoid saying when the salesperson asks you this question:
are you going to be paying cash or financing?
Do not talk about how you intend on paying for the vehicle. I feel like a lot of the times if you say, yeah, I'm going to be paying cash, one, the dealership does not make a lot of money compared to financing. If you're financing, that percentage that you are paying towards, they're getting a percentage of that money. So if you're paying cash, one, they're not getting as much money as they are by a bi-weekly payment, and two, they feel like if you can afford to pay cash, why do we gotta negotiate here? They're gonna try and pull that from you. When they ask you, are you paying cash or financing? Just say, I'd like to talk the numbers first, see what you can offer me first, and see what they say. Never throw out a price. Make them start the conversation and the negotiation. And one thing I really want to mention is that I recommend you bring somebody with you. If you don't know, like I was mentioning in my last video, it's linked up above, anything about cars or anything about, you know, even money in a sense, I would bring someone with you in this process. I would understand what to say and what not to say. So if you have somebody there with you that you can ask questions and whatnot, I would suggest you do that. You are trading in a vehicle. I didn't do this, so I personally don't have anything to say to you guys or mention to you, but I did find an awesome website that did mention about trade-ins, so I'm gonna link it down below. If they haven't really started off the conversation, you gotta start it off because you ain't got all day, honey. So make an offer. So I'm gonna help you guys out. If you don't know what to offer, if you don't know what's too high, what's too low, what is something that they're gonna look at you and just be like, just get out the door. I'm gonna give you an example. Car is listed at $20,500. You see that on the website, on say AutoTrader, that the vehicle can be listed for an average of $18,500 to $21,000. So you're going to be in that range. You're not going to go any lower, you're not going to go any higher. Remember, take into play that that's probably listed because one, the mileage, the year of the car, the features on the car as well, that could be a big one. There's all these kind of extra costs that come into reasons that come into play for why the car is listed as why it is. So just don't see, okay, the average is $18,500, I should be able to get it for $18,500. You're gonna make an offer that's reasonable, something you're also willing to pay as well, because the dealership had to stay in business, they gotta make money, but you also want to save some coin too, right? I would say $19,400 or $19,300. Start low, and then they're going to come up with another number saying $19,700, for example. They may say, okay, we can't go any lower than $19,700, which this has happened to me. So I kind of have an idea of why they're saying this. So they're going to go back and forth. We can't go any lower than $19,700. I'm going to say, no, I'm very firm. This is my last offer, $19,500. They're going to go back. And if they just start to go back a second time, then you know that it's kind of promising in a sense because they're really trying to make this work out for you. If they're not making that effort to be like, okay, let me go back, let me ask again, then you know. But if they're not, don't bother. You listen to see what they say. Sometimes they'll say the lowest we could do is $92,600, and if that's okay with you, you're gonna go into payment options. So you haven't told them yet at this point about how you're going to pay. You just want to figure out the numbers first and what they can offer you before you jump the gun and say, okay, I'm gonna finance, or I'm gonna pay cash. I wanted to make sure what I am paying will be the same regardless if I'm paying cash or financing. So once you've figured out, okay, this is the price, they're not going to go any lower, you feel like, okay, you know what, if I can save that extra $100 or $200 in the extra stuff and fees that they throw in there for me, that's fine. Usually at this point they will have the invoice in front of you, but if they don't, you can look into that afterwards, after you go into the office. So at this point they're gonna say, so how do I not paying for this? If I'm gonna be paying cash, will it be this number still? Will I still be paying this amount? If they say no, I would mention that we've already discussed, regardless how I'm going to pay, this is what you've offered me. You never mentioned to me that this is what's going to be. If they say something about our numbers are different, blah blah blah, I wouldn't even bother. I'd say, you know what, I'm not wasting any more time, walk out. If they say, yeah, this is gonna be the same, don't worry, it's fine, then continue on the conversation. Okay, if this is how it's gonna be like financing, is it gonna be the same? If they say yes, cool. So you say, you know what, I'm gonna be paying cash, or okay, I'm gonna be financing. You go into the office, you start signing paperwork. At this point, you're gonna be checking the invoice. So now you're in the office of where they start getting your insurance ready. Not really ready, but in a sense, but they're telling you what you need to get ready for, your licensing, extra deals they want to give you, like extra warranty, all that kind of stuff. That is up to you at this point. They haven't thrown it in there on the invoice. They're just letting you know that these are extra things you can add on if you need it. So you've gone through that whole process. I would check and see if you have manufacturer warranty, the company warranty left on the vehicle. If you don't, then maybe get the extended warranty because you might need it. But if you still have some left over, you don't really need it. But it's totally up to you and what you're comfortable and what you feel like you need. This is the part where you really gotta look before you sign. This is really important. Okay, it's really important, honey. It's really important. Because a lot of people just sign because they're so excited that they got a deal. But please read and look at the invoice. Ask the questions. What is this? What is this? Why am I paying this much for this? Some companies and some dealerships will add on fees. Like, for example, Honda tried to get me to pay for a safety package because their cars are very high risk of being stolen. So they tried to get me to pay $500 that it was non-negotiable and has to be added on. That's what insurance is for. If you do want to finance, I would ask, is there a penalty if I want to pay this off? Like, you get lots of hours at work and you're able to pay it, most of it off or all of it off after a certain amount of period. If there's no penalty, maybe the financing might be a cheaper option for you, might ideal for you. But if it's not, if you can pay cash, go for it. Once you figured out, you know, you've checked the invoice, you've seen, okay, everything looks good, all these random fees have been taken out. We got down to the number I'm willing to pay. We've made sure that if there's warranty left on the car, that you're good. If you want extended warranty, you've added that on there, you're good. So at this point, ask and see like if there are any issues that come up with the vehicle, maybe like 2 weeks down or a week or tomorrow, who knows? Because they do sell it to you like safety certified, or they at least check to make sure everything is okay and good to go and in good condition. If something happens tomorrow or next week, can I come back and you guys take a look at it without any extra cost? Once you figure that out and you've got your numbers and you're good to go, you got yourself a deal. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you guys want to know my actual experience and if I actually pay cash or financing or what I did. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.